Hey guys, my name is Alice. Welcome to a different type of video. Today we'll be discussing what Linux is and why I use it as an alternative to Windows. First of all, I would like to go into the fact that unlike Windows, it is actually open source, which allows everything to be made by the community, which also allows for better support for it. Sure, Windows does have amazing support, but Linux is catching up very fast, and honestly Windows should be afraid of them. Another reason is that, unlike Windows, you get an amazing software utility on almost every distribution. These software utilities can range from ones made by the creators of a distribution itself, and for the record, a distribution is just one of the types of Linux. There's millions out there. But yeah, the package centers, or software centers, can be very different depending on what one you use. Here I am using PAMIC, which basically it has different things like the AUR, and actually I'm going to update that real quick. It also has Snap and Flatpak. These are two types of things which are basically just overall any Linux distribution can use them, as long as it's enabled. The AUR is specific to Arch and its derivatives. Ubuntu, or Debian I should say, it used the apt command line for it. And yes, you can actually find alternatives to the command line. Like Ubuntu has a store that's similar to this, but honestly a little bit nicer, but really all just depends on the distro. Another thing I would like to go into is the fact that I find the start menu a lot nicer now. Here we have a bunch of utilities, just random things. Office, it's got its own section. Settings, different types all in here. And I will get into app images later, because that's actually kind of interesting. Multimedia, you have a few different things here. Here's my recording software, my editor for videos. And then here we have just some other media stuff. Here we have an SSH client, VNC client. We have my main messaging app, Discord. We have Firefox, an open source web browser. We also have QBitTorrent, which is a torrent opener, or downloader. We have Steam, and we have Thunderbird. Steam, as many people know, is a game software repository thing, and Thunderbird is an amazing email client. Under graphics, we have GIMP. We have Gwenvia, which is an image viewer, and then we have a few other things. Under games, we have Introvert, which is a game that I got on Steam earlier today. It just sounds fun. We have Lunar Client, which is a Minecraft client. Lutris, which is basically a launcher for hey, here I can have Epic Games, Steam, whatever basically. It just launched straight from there. Here you have normal Minecraft, which many people don't have, I guess, in Steam. Again. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that later, but that's interesting. Alright, under education, we don't have much here, I guess, but there's a little bit of stuff for helping with homework, I'm pretty sure is what that's for. Qt, this is basically just for if I were using the LXQT desktop environment. And then, or actually wait, no, sorry, Qt. This is just a style of a desktop application. And then here we have all my applications just in order. Pretty straightforward. Here are my favorites, which here we have Kate, my terminal, my Microsoft Office alternative, which is free and open source. Dolphin, my file manager alternative to File Explorer. my system settings, Firefox, Cantata, however you want to pronounce it, and then a conversation, which I've honestly never used before, but this is just a fresh distribution, I guess. And then I do kind of want to go into like GIMP, I guess, first of all, because this is something kind of interesting. As many people know, it is an alternative to Photoshop and other programs on Windows. But what a lot of people don't understand is that like there's a lot more customization that you can do with it. Like, for one, you can actually like zoom in, which I need to do at some point, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Yeah, there's a lot of amazing things that you can do with this. You can add your own custom themes to make it look like Photoshop if you wish, or another program. It really depends on the user. Up next, I want to talk about the app image launcher. Basically what this does is, let's say that I have a program here, file.appimage. Like, if this was an actual application, what I could do is just right click on it, and instead of saying open with Kate, it would say open with app image launcher. And what that would allow me to do is just use it on any Linux distribution that supports app image launcher, which is basically almost any of them, provided you take the time to install it. And sometimes it has been like very evident to me in the past. It's getting to the point where it's almost a proprietary thing, where it's installed in every Linux distribution. But yeah, that's just my way of looking at it. I'm going to go ahead and delete that now. And then I guess kind of want to go into Get in Live. This seems like a good one. So here's my video editing software. Here we have all the names of projects and such, or scenes, whatever you want to call them. Here we have all the audio mixing, every like A-roll, B-roll, whatever. And then here we have like some amazing options for stuff. It's a very unique like layout for the toolbars, I guess. And the reason I say that is because like there's just so much you can do with it straight from here. Like, if you want, you can even change the entire color theme of it. I find that very nice. I'm gonna set that to Breathe Too Dark, I guess. I like that one. But it's very fast and good at actual renderings as well. Let's say that I wanted to go over to my system settings. Or wait, settings, there we go. Here we have some amazing things, such as appearance. What this would allow me to do is change the literal appearance of everything on the desktop itself. Like, let's say I want to go for Breathe normal instead of like on dark. And then I want to go for Oxygen Cold, or something like that. Like, it doesn't change too much if you don't like... Actually, I will go into that real quick. Let's say that I wanted to get a new plasma style. I could just go for something like this, and it will take a bit sometimes to download them, but other times not so. This one right here, it's a very unique one, for example. Very red, but I can imagine a lot of people using this and liking it. It really all just depends. Color schemes. Let's go grab the one that goes with it. Okay, so hit install. And apply. Like, I could honestly probably not use this myself, but there's a lot of people I can see who would actually use this. And then let's go into the hardware configuration of it. Here you can see that I actually have an open source network driver, which is basically just like the one that came with my PC motherboard. And then down here we have video-nvidia. This is the proprietary Linux driver. And then down here we have VESA, which I'm pretty sure is for like AMD stuff, video mode setting, and video Linux, which are just like standard display adapter things or drivers. Here we have the kernel. The kernel is what allows you to like, it's the main portion of an update, I guess. Like, if you have a kernel update that's probably not going to like be noticed by the standard user. But for me, like, since I'm a huge gamer, I was pretty happy to see that 5.11 came out. And the reason for that is it allows things like this program right here, Wine, which is for running Windows programs on Linux, to interact more with the actual system itself, because in 5.10 and below, it would have been extremely hard to get an anti-cheat to work, but now it's not exactly impossible anymore. Under user accounts, we have just some very simple stuff. Time of day, it's the same thing. I actually do enjoy this, like, as daylight time is daylight time. As transitions, it's very nice. And then let's go down to connections, sure. Like, Wi-Fi, this is a pretty big one for a lot of people nowadays. As you can see, I don't use Ethernet, I use Wi-Fi. But it's very nice. It works quite well. Sometimes it can be slow, but that's just the actual service itself, I guess. And then settings, we have like all the cache and cookies that I have from like using any part of my internet service on this. We have the ability to use proxy or a VPN, I'm pretty sure, somewhere. Keyboard, we have just 86 keys is what it says, but I could probably find a driver for this, but I'm not going to bother with it, since I don't really need one. The mouse, it's just the same kind of thing you would get on Windows, a bit simpler, but still same features. Here, like, if I had a Xbox or PS4 controller, it would detect that. Touchpad, same thing as controller, I guess. Let's say that I want to go and change, like, display settings, like, and yes, I know I don't have a 1080p monitor. I don't need one. I also don't need a 60, I don't need more than 60 hertz on a monitor because I don't notice it. Compositor, let's say that I wanted to use crisp instead of accurate or something like that. It would just basically change the way that things are rendered. And same goes for all of this. Here I should probably be using full screen repaints or reuse screen content, I guess, but automatic seems to be working fine for me. Keep window thumbnails. I always just keep only show for Windows, but it's up to you. Here I'm not going to mess with any of this because I don't want to screw it up. But night color, it's just like night mode or whatever. Audio is just all my audio devices. You can see them all here. Like here we have my audio stuff for recording. Here we have my just standard recording devices and playback devices. Power management, if I was on a laptop, this would affect it a lot more, but I'm gonna go ahead and actually turn that off because I haven't done that yet. Yeah. Advanced power settings, that's not really needed, I guess. Bluetooth, I don't have any Bluetooth on this, but if I did, I could use it. It's very much the same as Windows, I guess. KDE Connect is like, if I have an Android device, which I do, but I'm not going to set this up right now, I could go ahead and download an app called either KDE Connect or Zorin Connect and use it in compatibility with this to like send a command or send a file or whatever just over Wi-Fi or over data on my phone, as long as the PC is connected to the internet. Printers, I don't have any printers like connected right now, but if I did, I could go ahead and print wirelessly to it or whatever. Wireless media, like I'm pretty sure I have a USB flash drive in here right now, but I don't know. System information. And here's what I'm actually quite proud of. KDE Plasma version 5.21.1. This was a huge deal. And the reason for that is it gave birth to this entire new start menu kind of thing. Before that, it would have looked something very similar to this one, I believe. You know, 1 second. Okay, come on. Okay, well. Anyways. It would have been closest to this one, I'd say, but I wasn't really a fan of it, I guess. Here we have a ton of different widgets I can add to the like screen or whatever. Like quick launch, that's a nice one, I guess. Sticky note, same as what Windows has, kinda. System monitor, task manager stuff. CPU usage, weather, web browser. Might actually try that sometime, but I haven't gotten around to it. For alternatives, if I wanted to, I could make it look a bit more like actual Windows XP or something, I guess, but not really my thing. And on Systemd, you can just see a lot of processes running using it. I would also kind of like to go into just, hey, here's an update feature built right into your task manager, or taskbar. As you can see, currently I'm up to date, but works pretty well. Let's go ahead and go over to System Monitor. Okay, sysguard is what it's called on this distribution. Then you can see it's very similar to how Windows does it, just a little bit different of a styling. It's still the same concept though. Name of the process, CPU usage, memory usage, shared memory, window tile name, and then download and upload speed if it was using internet. Like here you can see that Discord was. It's probably going to be the only one, I'd assume. Yeah, it is. Okay. You get the point there. And with that, I think that actually concludes the video. But if there's anything you guys would like to see about Linux, I'm very open to showing anything. And I will show literally anything, I mean. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, it's kind of a different thing, but have a good day. And thanks for watching.